Well, next year will mark 25 years since Salisbury native Stephanie Fowler was named winner of the 2001 Sophie Kerr Prize. It is the largest undergraduate literary award in the country. Her entry was Crossings, a series of creative nonfiction short stories about the Eastern Shore of Maryland and Virginia. Fast forward to 20 years later, 2021, Stephanie picked up another literary award for her book, Chasing Alice, How the Life, Murder, and Legacy of an English Teacher Changed a Delmarva Community. Well, Fowler just released her fourth book. It's called Into the Night, a Jailbreak and Double Homicide on Maryland's Eastern Shore. It's a gripping true story that unravels the events of a violent night that led to a fascinating investigation that showcased one of the most stunning crimes in the history of Wicomico County. And Stephanie joins us here in Historic Studio D this afternoon to talk about that book. It's always good to see you.
Always good to see you too. I think you've been with me from the start here.
From the start. I first interviewed you when you got the Sophie Kerr Award.
Absolutely. So I guess we'll just keep doing this every time I write a book. So.
You got it. Yeah, we'll just keep writing books.
We'll keep going. There we go.
So yeah, we talked a little bit about your background.
Yes.
How does it feel to have come this far?
You know, it's unbelievable in terms of, you put so much time and energy into these works and then suddenly, boom, it's a book. And it's very, I don't know, it's very rewarding, but at the same time, it's also a bit terrifying.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit. It's Into the Night, and
yes.
You brought a copy for us to see. Tell us about the research. How long did because this is a true story.
Yes, it is a true story. It's about the 1968 double homicide where a prisoner who was in the jail here in Wicomico County shot and killed the jailer, a man named Albert Lee Kelly, and also shot the sheriff of Wicomico County, a man named Samuel Adams Graham. And it was a story that came to me kind of in a personal way. The night that murder happened, one of the prisoners went into the elevator, because the jail at the time was on the top floor of the district court building. So one of the other prisoners gets in the elevator, goes downstairs to the sheriff's office, which was in the basement, to tell the deputy on duty, hey, we've got a major problem upstairs. That deputy who was working the desk was my grandfather.
Oh, wow.
So I kind of start the book, and there's no spoilers in this, but I start the book by me sort of interviewing my grandfather when he was 85. And talking about what he remembered of that night that happened, December 8th, 1968, when that happened. So, I start the book with that, and then this book took about 5 years to write because the amount of information and research was almost and felt impossible at times. So the guy who did the murder, Joseph Bartholomew, his trial was held in Charles County. So I did a FOIA request to Charles County and said, give me everything you've got on this case. And they literally did. They gave me the entire trial transcripts, things that were entered into evidence, like autopsy reports, the blueprint of the jail logs. But they also, because he pled not guilty by reason of insanity, his defense team entered into evidence like 10 years worth of psychiatric records and social work records and things. So there was a lot of information to sort through and to kind of try to distill down into something that would be easily digestible for a reader.
Yeah, I bet. And then, of course, you found new things that you didn't expect to find.
Absolutely.
I imagine.
Yeah, there was something in the book, and I won't let it go, but there was a moment where I made a massive discovery about this particular case that I did not know at all. And I remember that day that I was doing the research, I almost literally jumped up out of my chair and was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this part, of the story existed. But I think that's kind of the beauty of nonfiction. I absolutely love the research. I love the writing of it, but, just watching the connective tissue of Delmarva come together in a story like this was pretty fascinating.
And this is something that I imagine a lot of people on Delmarva remember this actually happening in 1968.
Absolutely.
So they would probably be really interested to read this.
I would hope so. I would hope so. Yeah, there's a lot of local names, local events, and people. There have been some people who've read it already that were like, oh, I knew so-and-so, and I knew so-and-so. And that's one of the really cool things about writing local history.
So how can we get a hold of the book?
So anywhere you can buy a book, you can get Into the Night. So local bookstores around Delmarva, the Book Plate in Chestertown, Browse About Books in Rehoboth, Bethany Beach, Books, The Greyhound in Berlin, Buzzword in Ocean City, Sundial Books in Chincoteague, Barnes and Nobles, those places, Amazon, bookshop.org, you know, anywhere you can buy a book. And we also have them at my office in Berlin, Saltwater Media. We're selling them there too.
All right, it's called Into the Night, a jailbreak and double homicide on Maryland's Eastern Shore. Congratulations, Stephanie.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll see you next time with the next book.
I'll be back.
Okay.